An ancient little woman held court in the forecourt.
"Hola,"
Ashley began.
"Donde está el marcaroo?"
It sounded dubious, but it was the best we'd come up with. "Mercado? Machachi?" the old woman asked. She seemed to be the only person there, so all our eggs were in her basket.
Si, machachi,"
we both chorused. She gestured down the road in an offhand manner. Intense concentration on her hoarse mumbling paid off when I caught the words,
10 minutos.
Only 10 minutes further down the main road, if the old dear was to be believed. We set off, keeping to the dusty hard shoulder, as there wasn't anywhere else to walk. The road stretched on for miles. The hot dog stand slowly receded behind us. 10 minutes later, and the view hadn't changed much. 10 minutes after that brought nothing new either. 20 minutes after that...
"I think that old crone lied to us,"
Ashley said. I had to agree. "Bollocks to it. Shall we try to flag down a bus?" Ashley considered.
"If we don't, we could die of starvation here, or old age."
A bus was charging towards us at that moment. This was hardly surprising, as buses had been charging past us every 30 seconds or so. For a road to nowhere, it sure was busy. We waved. The bus charged past. So did the next 3. Apparently, we'd discovered the one place in the country that buses actually couldn't stop, either due to some primitive traffic law, or, more realistically, because they didn't have good enough brakes.
"We could try cars,"
Ashley suggested. Eventually, a shiny blue pickup pulled onto the hard shoulder just ahead of us, and we piled into the trayback. On a hot sunny day, through flat green countryside, this was the only way to travel. Almost 10 minutes had passed when our driver pulled off the main road and turned into a town. Aha! It occurred to Ashley and me at the same time. 10 minutes by car, the old woman had meant. Clearly, she hadn't expected anyone to be stupid enough to try to walk down the freeway. Machachi. The place was an assault on the senses from the moment we squirmed out of the back of the pickup. My nose immediately registered the presence of something frying, in garlic. The air was rich with the aromas of strange and spicy foodstuffs a-cooking. The entire town was thronging with people. Everywhere I looked hung racks of crazy trousers, blotched, striped, and tie-dyed in dozens of colours, woolly cardigans to match, and thick blanket-like ponchos. The scent of leather exuded from stalls selling wallets and belts, only to be overwhelmed by cloying floral perfume from the next stall over. For the next half hour, neither of us spoke beyond the occasional exclamation of, "Whoa!" or "Look at this!" My head was a periscope, spinning from side to side, trying to take it all in. Dodgy Spanish pop music blared from a dozen sources. An agonized wail seemed to be the vocal choice of the day, overlaid with rapid beats so heavy they made my teeth vibrate. Everywhere were hats and bags, indecipherable T-shirts, ornaments and glass and china and stone-faced stall-holders sweltering in the heat. It must have taken us an hour to do the first full circuit. Lines of people struggled up every alley, pushing through the narrow corridor between stalls shoulder to shoulder, with a line pushing the opposite way. Every so often we'd break out into an open space or a junction with a slightly wider street. In the thinner crowds we could pause for a few seconds to wipe sweat from our brows. I was dripping like a melting ice lolly, and check our pockets hadn't been picked. Then one or the other of us would choose a direction and we'd plunge into the human stream once more. In one of the slightly more spacious areas, we came across an old woman frying little cakes on what looked like a big metal bin lid. I pointed at one and asked, "K?" They were cheese. I bought one and ate it. It was like the answer to all my prayers. I bought 10 more on the spot and started to cram them into my mouth. Absolutely delicious. Cheesy, mazy, fried thing. 10 for $1. Why weren't these things more popular? I looked along the row of stalls ahead and realized that every single one of them was frying cheesy, mazy things. Popular enough, then, just not in Tambija. Even without any meat in it, my stomach was feeling a lot happier. The meat, when we came to it, looked a little less appetizing than it smelled. Another row of stalls just beyond Fried Cheese Row were the source of the delicious aroma. In front of each stall was the ubiquitous metal bin lid, this time fully ablaze. Above it a whole guinea pig was roasting, rotisserie style. And when I say whole, I mean whole. Eyes, teeth, claws, and tail. The sharp front teeth are sickly yellow and longer than my little finger. I'll pass on that, thanks. We wandered through what looked like an aircraft hangar, full of dripping red body parts bleeding onto the floor and fat men waving cleavers at each other. Flies swarmed over everything in sight. I decided not to buy any meat just yet. I could sense the onset of